Well, you know what? He walked his first two guys, and then he settled in. I mean, he had great stuff tonight. There's no doubt about that. He normally does. But you walk the first two of the game, you don't know what to expect. But Russ ends up throwing out Raj there. Third base was huge, no doubt about that. And then really he settled in, and he gave us just what we needed. I was a little worried about, he's come back on short rest, so I thought, that he did his job, and it would kind of set up for the rest of the bullpen. So the bullpen did a great job once again.
With Biagini and then Tepera and then Osuna sort of going back to back there, is that how you would like to deploy your bullpen when possible when the starter goes for long enough?
Well, those guys can all do that. Naturally we got Osuna at the end, and Tep's really settled in and has been dominating. But when we got Joe Smith back now, but he's not ready to go back-to-back days, and then and Barnsley's a little beat up right now, but I mean, so that's that's a lot of guys in Leone. We can't forget about Leo. And is that how you say his last name? Well, whatever. It's Leo. So we feel good down. Those guys have done a great job. Loop's pitching good. So they're all doing a nice job. So it's a strong bullpen.
John, now that Biagini's had a few outings back in relief, what have you seen from him recently?
Well, he's always been dominating as a reliever. That goes back to last year, and then even this year at the beginning, before we put him in the rotation. I mean, that's I think he's been one of the better relievers in baseball. Once we figured out last year who he was, and he's probably the most versatile guy because he can give you more than one inning. He can go two. He could even go 2+ if Yeah, I think can't say enough for what he's done down there. And he did a nice job as a starter. He was learning how to start. He pitched some good games. He had some games where he struggled a little bit, but for the most part, he's been as consistent as anybody coming out of the pen.
John, a lot's been made from this team only getting their runs supplied via home runs, over 50%. That actually led the MLB heading into the night. Other than the Martin home run, to see those 3 runs scored other ways, how exciting is that for the future and knowing that the team can produce runs? There's also that squeeze play you tried with Pilar.
Well, that wasn't a squeeze play. I don't know what happened there, to be honest. He was just bunting on his own, But, yeah, I mean, you got to be able to do that. I mean, you can't rely on the home run all the time. I mean, we'll heat up. There's no doubt in my mind still. And, two, I don't want to forget, this group here's really put the baseball back on the map in Canada. I don't forget that. I hope, everybody else doesn't either. And, we'll show up every day, and 2 months from now we'll see where we're at. And but it's a pretty good group.
Does it help in a week where there could be distractions from the upcoming trade deadline to have 2 teams come in that are sort of similar record to yours?
Major League team's a Major League team. They all have good players. You can see what they're doing over there. They're rebuilding, but they get some. They get some good young players. Powerful players. Typical Oakland type team. It doesn't matter. It's still the big leagues.
John, can you talk a little about Carrera's role in tonight's win and what Carrera has done for the Blue Jays throughout the season?
Yeah, Z had another big night tonight. He's done a lot of good things for us since, in the last couple of years. And I've said many times, he's one guy he can sit over there and not play for a week, and then he'll come up and he seems to spark you, and a couple good at-bats tonight, key at-bats. Yeah, he's done some good things for us. But, he knows his role. He accepts it. But, yeah, he's got that knack of sitting down for a while and then all of a sudden coming out and doing some good things.
Last question. John, in the time you've had Francisco now, are there certain things that you look for early in a start to see if he has it, or is it one of those things where you just kind of cross your fingers?
No, I don't think I've ever seen him where he doesn't have it. He just gets into, control problems, he's got a tough delivery that's tough to repeat. You see him, he falls off the side of the mound, and that it's hard to get a lot of times get that arm release point in the same slot. But when he gets on a roll and he gets in a groove, I mean, he can dominate you. I mean, his stuff's that good. And I'm sure there's a couple of times along the way he might have been missing something, but it doesn't really stand out to me. It's just a matter if he can keep it in the zone, he's going to beat you.